So what do we know about this soul energy part of ourselves? So we'll use an analogy. It comes from the book of Proverbs, where it says, the soul of a human being is a divine flame. It's the flame of God. In other words, we're compared to a flame, but a divine flame, and we'll talk about that shortly. When you look at a flame, you study it, you see the flame and the wick is the closest approximation to how your soul and body work, or how the energy and matter work. A wick is very grounded. It actually grounds the flame. A flame on its own is restless, flickering. Could be smooth flickering, meaning it's not making any noise, but it still flickers. It defies gravity. It reaches upward. A flame illuminates. It warms its environment. The wick, as I said, is the ground. So if you think of it that way, your energy within you is not just electricity. It actually is a force of transcendence. And here where the two voices come back to what we discussed, or the two souls. One is a spirit that's connected to the wick, to your body and physical needs. You need to eat, to drink, to sleep, to exercise, to do work, relationships. It's very basic. It could be infused with a lot of passion, a lot of spirit and energy that we'll discuss, but on its own, it's essentially like the wick. And it has a voice, and the voice is, I need something. I'm hungry, I need to eat. I'm thirsty, I need to drink. I'm tired, I need to lie down. I need companionship, so you look for someone. The other voice also has needs, but its needs, we'll call them transcendent needs. What is transcendent needs? Something that's not about me. I need something outside of me. I need purpose. I need a mission, a calling. I need something that stimulates and elevates me beyond the pedestrian quotidian of existence, the pedestrian routines of our lives. I need to read a book, listen to music, travel, love, sexuality, intimacy, yes, faith, spirituality, anything that lifts the spirit like a flame that helps us experience something beyond ourselves. Now, when you look, for instance, at other species, animals, and definitely plants and mineral, they don't have that second spirit. They have an energy that makes them alive, but you'll never see an animal on earth sitting and meditating on its purpose of existence. All its energy is dedicated to surviving, to breeding, to protecting its young, and to fulfilling the function for which it exists on this earth. Never wavers. A human being has the concept of restlessness. We're not satisfied with animal bliss. I remember as a young boy, first time I ever saw an animal, being beyond the pigeon and some rodents or squirrels that we saw in the city, traveling upstate, and I saw cows grazing in the meadow. I was fascinated. I had read about it, I'd seen pictures, I'd seen movies, film, and so on. But I never saw a live cow. Maybe in the zoo. Well, in the zoo, I don't even think they show cows, whatever. Anyway, I stopped and decided I want to observe this scene. Maybe 30, 40 cows grazing in a field. They're calm, is what grabbed my attention. It was so calm. Docile. Munching on the grass. And one cow I saw with a little calf. And I said to myself, this is what a cow will do all day and all night, besides when it sleeps. It will eat, it will feed its young, it will breed, protect its young. In case of cows, they don't hunt they're not predators, but they look for food. And the same thing is with other animals. And I said, wow, what a calm life. These cows don't need therapy. They have no neurosis. Can a human being be that way? And the answer is no. If you try to be that way, that alone will make you restless, that you're not restless. Now, some people are trying to master the art of animal bliss. No conscience, no feelings, no aspirations, no dreams. But can a person live without imagination, without dreams, without aspirations? Look at the mirror. Look at just the search for life on other planets. Look at this outer space travel. Spend millions, billions, trillions of dollars. For what one reason? To satisfy human curiosity. These cows or other animals live in the same habitats for hundreds of years, for thousands of years. We look to build better homes. We have technologies, better communication tools, better vehicles. We're constantly looking to improve. All of that goes in the category of, yes, of energy, soul, transcendence. It's not always transcendent in nature. Sometimes, you can use a smartphone for your own existential and physical needs. But the seeking, the fact that we seek to discover, is coming from the flame within us. Recognizing that alone is redeeming, is liberating. Because you realize that you have something inside of you that's not just about surviving. I can't tell you how many people have told me, how's it going? I'm surviving, I'm managing. Damage control. If I get by the day without anything being hurt and no one being hurt, me not being hurt, I'm happy. What about your dreams that you once had, your idealism? You get older, you throw in the towel, become more realistic. But the spirit within you never dies. Even if you become numb and even if you push it aside or you ignore it, it is of a flickering flame, seeking. And that's a true voice within you, as true as the voice that needs to sleep and eat and drink and survive and exist. And there is a battle between them. If the flame would have it its way, it would probably just expire and not even remain grounded. But the wick keeps it grounded. The other way around, if the wick was just a wick, it would never rise, would never transcend. Imagine a life like that. I remember a cardiologist used to come to my classes. He was a beautiful soul, beautiful guy. But he had a very difficult life, personal life. He had challenges. And one day he says to me, Rabbi Jacobson, or Simon, I don't remember what he used, what name. He said, can you pray for me to have one day of calm, one day of bliss? So I can just wake up and go to sleep at night knowing things are going to be all right. Not always having all these anxieties and tensions and distress so often. So we were friends. So I said to him, you mean, doctor, like a flat line? She says, no. That's not what I'm asking. A flat line, of course, in a cardiogram is not a good sign. It's a sign that the heart stopped. What does a cardiogram look like? Waves. And I explained to him, life is those waves. You want balanced ones. You want harmonious ones, where it doesn't peak too high and doesn't fall too low. You don't want those peaks and valleys. But what is a heart? It's constant movement. It's like a flame. Contraction, expansion. The flicker of a flame. Inhale and exhale. You want it to be balanced. Now, when a person has too much tension, that's when it peaks, spikes. So we compartmentalize. But compartmentalization ultimately does create a battle of its own, because there will be conflicts. So here's what I want to tell you. At the end of the story is there's no need to compartmentalize. You know why? Because the flame exists also in the wick. Energy and matter are synonymous. E equals mc squared. It's just not obvious. So what's the solution? That's why you'll have schools of thought. Some say the only solution is either asceticism, one extreme, cut yourself off, move to a mountain, move to a very outside of civilization, get away from the rush hours of the marketplace of Wall Street, and live a calm life, an austere life. Many people choose that. Others say, no, live in the material world and compartmentalize. From time to time, find ways to resolve your angst. And I'm here to suggest there's a third approach. The third approach is understanding a deeper concept, that there is really no conflict. There's an ostensible conflict, because spirit and matter are two parts of one reality. And the divine is not more spiritual than physical. and that the body and soul can join together. Now, how do you do that? They seem to have two different agendas. One is driven by self, me, me, me. Sometimes we can call it by the emotional impulses of your needs. The other is much more reflective, meditative, contemplative. The answer is by spiritualizing the material. And here I introduce to you an idea you may be familiar with, the elevation of the sparks. The mystics put it this way. There's divine sparks, we'll call it spiritual opportunities, embedded in every part of your life. Not just when you pray, not just when you have faith, not just when you're seeking transcendence, but even when you eat a meal, when you're walking and talking and sleeping. Within it is embedded fire, flame, energy. And it's our mission is to free that. So, simple example, you're sitting down to a meal, don't say, oh, then now it's not a time for spiritual activity, this is a time for physical activity. Not correct. You can spiritualize that meal. Make sure the food is healthy food, proper food. You make a blessing on it, gratitude. You don't just indulge. And the strength that you get from the food, you think about how am I going to use it to help somebody? And definitely not the opposite, to hurt someone. So suddenly a physical meal becomes a spiritual activity. The same thing, you're walking down the street. Let's say you're just taking a walk. But meet someone, you see, they're a little sad. Say something nice to them. And it's not a contradiction, you can do both. Now there will be times where you can't do both. You can't just satisfy your needs. As like I said earlier, sleep a little longer and go volunteer. There are times when you have to make choices. But even the times that we're, let's say, doing something for ourselves, we can also include in it something deeper. When you sleep and you say the strength I get from my sleep I will use during the day to help more people. Or you travel somewhere on vacation and you realize that your footsteps are being led there. So you may go on vacation or you may have went for business, but you look for these opportunities, you look for these unexpected. That's where the magic lies, in the unexpected, in the surprising, in the spontaneous interactions. And you never know. Suddenly you hear something you should have heard, or you say something that the other person needed to hear. You make a new friendship. Be open to these surprises. Be open to the unexpected, the things that were not planned. Because that's, like I said, that's where the real transcendence happens. So whatever you're doing, no matter how physical it is, you can always find the spirituality within it. Indeed, the book I wrote, Toward a Meaningful Life, was really meant, if I could say it in one line, was to help us spiritualize every aspect of life. From the moment we're born till we die, and everything in between. Our work, our health, our money, our relationships. Because everything can be spiritualized. So the flame isn't here and the wick here. You bring them together. And they feed each other. When the physical is being harnessed, and you're revealing, redeeming, elevating those divine spiritual opportunities, it feeds your soul, your energy. And vice versa, your energy feeds your body. But you have to know who's the captain and who's the ship. The ship shouldn't be telling the captain where to go. The captain tells the ship where to go. So it's the soul, that inner voice that you have, that of transcendence, should be directing and saying, okay, now I'm going to eat a meal in a transcendent fashion. My work, I'm going to use not just to make a living, but to help people, to give charity for the money I make, interact with the people I meet, and use it as an opportunity also to spiritualize my work. Like one businessman told me, he actually read in my book, Toward a Meaningful Life, that he now has a charity box on his office desk, not just in his home, in his kitchen, or wherever. Not just in the synagogue, the house of worship, on his desk. And he says it's changed. It's changed the very complexion of people, my meetings, people coming into my office. They start asking, what charity box? Before a meeting, we put a few coins in. It refined, that's the word he used, it refined my world, my business world. Create deeper relationships. So there's millions of ways of doing this. I'm just making some suggestions. and come to realize that no, this isn't a perpetual battle that needs to remain a battle. It begins as a battle. To come to realize that we can bring these two voices, these two forces, these two souls together in a glorious dance. Is it always easy? No, it's not always easy. And sometimes we will not succeed in every particular way, but it's a journey. It's the journey of two brothers, twins, with equal resources, that have very different personalities, but ultimately reconcile. More than just reconcile, join together in a harmony between matter and spirit, between matter and energy, between soul, body and soul, between form and function, between the outer and the inner, between the physical and the spiritual. So just like you have letters of a page in a book, those letters are connected to the message that they're delivering in a seamless flow. Just as you musical notes, you play the notes, but it delivers this beautiful music. All of this are examples of where form and function, where body and soul, spirit and matter join together. And then you have that total harmony and synergy that's stronger than the sum of the parts. May you be blessed, may I be blessed, may all of us be blessed to find that formula. But it's essentially about spiritualizing your material life. Thank you so much. This has been Simon Jacobson. Meaningful Life Center, meaningfullife.com is our website. Check it out. And please share. Please share this with others. That's another way of spiritualizing your relationships. And I'd love to hear your feedback, your thoughts, your comments, suggestions. And stay in touch. Check us out, meaningfullife.com, with a wide array, a full array of different activities, programs that you can access easily online that discuss and cover literally, virtually every topic in life, the entire spectrum. Be well and be blessed. Thank you.
This program is brought to you by the Meaningful Life Center. Please help us continue our programs. Make even a small contribution at meaningfullife.com/donate.